Just makes my blood boil when you hear stories like this. Yvette joins us now. Thank you for coming in. It's not the easiest thing to come out and be open and talk about something like this, particularly when there's so much money involved.
Exactly.
Explain how you first met him.
So I met him on Tinder. We started to communicate. He was very, very attentive, showed, a lot of interest in my life, told me a lot about his early life, and then we started to communicate on a daily basis. I then went to Las Vegas and actually met him personally.
And what was that like?
It was nice. I mean, he spent a lot of time with me. He took me to his studio. He spoke about, some of the ventures that he was interested in doing. He spoke about a barbershop that he had set up. Spoke about having professional athletes that would be using the barbershop when he fully established it. It was a nice holiday.
Yeah, and he was incredibly charming.
Extremely charming. He love-bombed me.
Did he?
Yeah.
Which is actually a theme that we've seen quite often with women who've been tricked by men along the way. Did your family meet him at any stage?
They did. So
what
he
did
came
they think?
to London twice.
Yeah.
He played, video games with my son, met my mum and met my nephew who's interested in music and, was spoke about maybe trying to help him, get in contact with sort of musicians and spoke about his studio to my nephew. So, and actually he met my cousin as well.
Wow. So he's met the family.
Yeah.
He's doing all the right things.
Yeah.
You've got no reason to suspect him of having any ulterior motive.
No.
When did he start saying, Yvette, that he needed some money?
So there was a time, I think, before I actually went to Vegas, he was in Turkey and he spoke about having to share a room with someone and he found it really difficult. I think the person maybe was snoring or whatever. So, and I think it was also maybe his birthday or maybe just after his birthday. So he asked if I could lend him some money so he could get a separate room. And it was always lend and he would pay me back. So I was quite happy to do that. It wasn't a large amount of money. It was for a specific purpose.
Did he ever explain why he didn't have the money to do that himself?
I think he was basically saying that he was shooting videos and, because he was trying to establish his studio, his barbershop, that took a lot more money than he anticipated. So he was basically short on money during that period of time. And
he had all these different ideas and dreams of what he wanted to do.
Ideas, and sent me a lot of information, a lot of documents, a lot of, photos of him with, established artists or established producers, and also always had a story.
Yeah, so he backed everything up, essentially.
Yeah, he sent me into a point, it was like, why are you sending me so much information? But I think he was laying the foundations.
Of course. And then, so it started off with small amounts, like you said, in Turkey, and he wanted to get a different room. And then it escalated.
It did.
Fairly quickly. How did that happen? And what figure did he ask you for?
So I think it then was that he needed some money to buy furniture for the barbershop. He was always saying, I'm going to be a millionaire, Yvette. I'm going to be a millionaire. I'm going to have an app where the professionals, there was, I think, a new stadium that they were building in Vegas. He's going to, the barbershop is going to be open 24/7. He's going to have a shower. He was having TVs in the floor. It looked very, very professional. And, Yvette, can you lend me some money? I'm going to be a millionaire, and as soon as I'm established, I'm going to pay you the money back. So it started off from that, and then it would be, I had a backer and they, weren't able to come through with the money. Can you lend me that money? Because I've already paid, the proportion of the money that I needed to. So I just needed that little bit.
But he asked you to remortgage your house?
He did.
And now, are alarm bells starting to ring yet?
They were starting to ring. And in the back of my mind, I wasn't going to do it, but I I started the process in the sense that I reached out to some, you know, organisations, financial organisations, but I made it very clear that it was for him, and he provided his business plan. So
Right.
I made it clear that it was for him, not for myself.
So you were essentially going through the motions to make it all seem as though you were trying to do it, but it could be stopped at any point, essentially.
Exactly.
When did you decide that actually this is no... When, as Ben said, when did the alarm bells go?
I would say it was very soon after that, because his demeanour towards me changed, because it wasn't successful, as I knew it wasn't going to be successful. And then his demeanour started to change. He started to back off a bit. And be
so there was less communication. So, I mean, there was an extraordinary moment where he's being interviewed live on YouTube, and something happened, and there was an altercation. And off the back of that altercation, everyone was very concerned about his health and well-being. And all of a sudden, all these women started contacting the YouTuber and contacting the police. And that's when it suddenly became apparent that it wasn't just you in a relationship with this guy. There was lots of you. Yeah,
but by then, he had actually ghosted me. He'd cut me off a bit.
So you'd completely lost all touch with him?
Lost contact with him, yeah.
So explain a little bit about this Facebook page, because there's now 4,000 women on this, or members of this Facebook page. Not all just in relationships, some of whom have lent him money for business reasons or whatever. How did that all come about, and what's it been like when you're suddenly contacting these people, realising he's done the same to them?
So basically, after finding out that there were a number of other women, so I'd contacted a friend of his, and his friend said to me that there were hundreds of women. It wasn't just in America and not just in London, it was all over the world. So wherever he went, there was a woman that he was in a relationship with, or made them believe that he was in a relationship with, and needed some money. So then I just started to go on social media just to see if I could actually speak to someone, to try and make people aware that this is what's going on. And then I found the Facebook page that Nicole Leonard had started, and she was actually a friend of the person who Lydell shot. So I started to communicate with her. She told me that there were a number of other women that had also approached her and told her that they were in the same situation that I was in. And then I became the moderator. So I have a lot of information from other women that are in the exact same position to myself.
So, Yvette, what do you want to achieve by speaking out? Because to me, it's mind-blowing that within this day and age, and everybody having phones and social media and the internet, that he was able to do this even. It's important, I think, for you to take back control of it.
Definitely, because, I mean, initially when I found out who he was, because he wasn't the person that he portrayed to me, I was devastated. And then I felt ashamed that I was duped by him. But by speaking to the other women, he does it so well. He's a professional. It's like his full-time job, so he knows exactly what to say, when to say it, when to cut you off. He knows how to play the game, and he plays it very, very well. But I needed to take back my power to make sure that people are aware that there are people like him out there.
And he's still out there.
He's still out there. And
we did reach out to Lydell for a right reply. He didn't respond to us. He has said this in the past on YouTube, though. These women gave me their money out of their own free will. How is that a romance scam? They gave me money and I gave them a good time.
I don't know what the good time that he's alluding to. As I said, it was always on the proviso. It's a loan. I'm going to pay you back.
Do you think you'll ever get it back?
I very much doubt it, because of the amount of women that there are.
I mean, it must be hundreds of thousands, if not more, that he's had. I know that you also tried to speak to PayPal as well with regards to this money and try and getting some of the money back. PayPal said, "We never lose sight of the fact that we are entrusted to look after people's money. We take this responsibility very seriously and use advanced fraud and risk management tools to keep our customers and their payments safe." That hasn't helped you, unfortunately, at this stage.
Me.
And I guess your point is just be conscious when you're out there.
Be conscious, be aware, do research when you meet someone, go online, put their name in Google and find out a bit more about them, because, how people portray themselves isn't necessarily who they are.
No, absolutely. Well, Yvette, you're helping loads of other people just by being here, for sure. You're absolutely beautiful. Thank you for coming on the show. Thank you so much. Thank you for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload new content every day, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out, and we'll see you in the morning.